Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we are going to talk about Elon Musk buying Twitter and what that means. Because it is being reported that that's a done deal. Musk has control. This is creating a wide array of responses from people. Some are super excited because they believe Twitter is about to become just wholly unmoderated. And some are very concerned because they believe Twitter is about to become wholly unmoderated. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what's likely. But before we get into that, I have a quick announcement I want to make, and I want to put it up front because I want to make sure everybody hears this. I don't give investment advice, ever, under any circumstance. Not a thing I do. There is a scam going around right now where it takes the photo of somebody on YouTube and their name and uses that to direct people to WhatsApp, where it encourages them to buy crypto of some kind or promotes something to do with cryptocurrency. That's not me. This is also hitting other people on YouTube. It's not them either. Just a quick tip. People on YouTube want all of the interaction in their comments. They want it all down below because it promotes their channel. It boosts that video. They're not going to direct people off the site. If they do, they'll direct them to a pay site where they're going to make money. I would obviously be very suspicious of any service, company, or person who used this type of advertising, this type of scam, to get people involved. If you happen to be approached, I would love to know what company, service, or person is being promoted via this. Okay, so that's not me. It's probably not anybody else that you see this happening with that's on YouTube. All right, back to Twitter. The idea that is present is that because Elon Musk has fostered the image of being a free speech absolutist, that Twitter is about to become just completely unmoderated. That is super unlikely. That's probably not going to happen. There will probably be a PR shift and shift in perception, but it's unlikely that there's going to be a lot of changes. And here's the reason why. Even all of those free speech, far right-wing social media networks that have popped up, even they have moderation. You can't run a social media network without it. It has to exist. Now, Twitter is an especially unique case because they already have policies in place for safety, for the safety of their users. If Musk was to come in and get rid of those policies, and then something was to happen, say somebody got hurt or an insurrection got incited, whatever, he might be liable for that. Even if Musk is as ideologically pure on this subject as he presents himself to be, his lawyers will probably stop him because it would open him up to a lot of issues. It opened the company up to a lot of issues. With those policies currently being in place, it's Twitter saying, this is bad, this is going to get somebody hurt, this is blah, blah, blah. And they have a foundation for that. If those policies are removed and then something happens, it's going to be on the company. That's how that's going to be framed, whether it is or not. So what I would imagine is a lot of PR that is designed to shift perception of what gets moderated. Not a huge shift in what actually gets moderated. You'll probably see some small stuff related to the culture wars, but that's about it. Aside from that, when you're talking about a social media network that somebody has invested, I want to say $43 billion in, you want it to be healthy. You want that network to continue, right? If moderation went away, it would become even more swamped with botnets, with just overtly toxic behavior, and Twitter's core users would disappear. They would leave. They would go to another site. This would render that $43 billion investment devalued. So I'm not seeing a huge shift. There will probably be a huge PR shift designed to make people think there was a big shift. But in practice, it's probably not going to change much. A lot of Musk's ideas for Twitter, they sound good in theory until somebody tries to implement them. So there may be a disconnect between somebody's ideological beliefs and reality. It's that intersection of ideology and reality. There's a lot of car accidents there. And Musk may be using the self-driving mode on one of his cars heading into that intersection right now. Those sites that have popped up that are far right, that claim to be unmoderated, they're moderated too. They just have a different point where the moderation begins. You're not going to have a social media network without moderation, because it becomes a sewer very, very quickly. And I don't think that Musk intends on losing billions of dollars, which is what would probably happen. And that's assuming he could implement those policies over the objections of his own lawyers, which I'm sure would object. So I wouldn't worry too much about it right now. I'd wait and see what shapes up. And when you see the PR campaign, the ad campaign, ask yourself if you're really experiencing any difference on the site, or if you're just being told things are done differently. Because outside of culture war stuff, I don't see a huge shift coming. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.